Okay, this is Phillip Mills, and here are the three things that I'm going to do. First thing is I want to install and configure shadow copies. The second thing I want to do is that I want to make sure that they are working properly, and the third thing I want to do is that I want to install and configure disk quotas. But the first thing I want to do is that I want to do the shadow copies installation first. So let's get rid of this. I'm going to first create a folder on my computer here. Let's do that. I want to create a folder called Lab 11. Okay, now I'm going to share this folder. I'm going to go down to first. Well, first, first you're going to right click and then you want to go to share. Now here you're going to key in what you want to share it with. Okay, now okay, now the server, I'm going to make it a co-owner of it, and then I'm going to click share. Okay, so now it shows that it has been shared. Now the next thing I want to do is that I want to go into this Lab 11. I want to create a text document, and I want to name it the same thing. And now right here I want to key in I'm going to key in this right here. Okay, now I'm going to save it. Now I'm going to close it out. Okay, now the next thing I want to do is that I'm going to go back to my computer. And this time I'm going to right click the C drive, and I'm going to go down to properties. Now here I'm going to click the shadow copies tab, which it may take a few minutes to pop up. Okay, now here you are going to click this button right here, the enable button, to where we can get to it. And here you're going to hit yes to where we can do it. Okay, now we're going to click settings on it. We are going to see are going to see what it looks like. I'm going to go down to schedule. Okay, now this shows just what it looks like here. So we're going to hit cancel on it. We ain't going to do anything to it. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is that I am just going to confirm that the shadow copies are working. So I'm going to go back to my shared folder, which is right here. I'm going to put in another text, and it's going to say this. And I'm going to save it. So now it's saved. I'm going to close it, and then I want to reopen it just to make sure it was saved. So it was saved. And now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to right click the file, and I'm going to go down to right here, which says which is restore the previous version. So when I click it, it's going to pop up this right here, and here I'm going to click the open button. Okay, now here it shows my my first line of text that I had put on there the first time. So so that there shows that that part is working on it. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. Okay, now the next thing I want to right click the C drive and go to my shadow copies again. Okay, now here I'm going to click the create now button. Okay, now that shows. Okay, now that shows that it had created the second shadow copy. So I'm going to click the OK. Now I'm going to return to my shared folder here. Okay, now here I want to right click and I want to go back to my previous versions button right here. Let me go back to it because it may not have done it the right way. It still shows this. It still shows the first one there. But let me go to my Windows Explorer. Let me go to my Windows Explorer here. And go down to it on there. Okay. Okay. So okay. So that did work, but now the final thing I want to do is I want to create. I want to install and configure the disk quotas for the final thing. Okay, now to install the disk quotas, I'm going to go to my roles here. I'm going to narrow it down to the file services role here. I'm right click. I want to add a role, and the role that I want to add is the file service resource manager role. So we'll hit next. You want to select the C drive. I'm going to hit next twice to accept everything as it is, and then you want to finally to let it install. So it's going to do that. Okay, now that has finally got done installing. Now now we're going to close this to get rid of this, and now we are going to go to our administrative tools, and we're going to go to the file server manager right here. And I want to go down to the quota templates right here. I want to right click it, Now I want to create a quota template. In the template name, I want to name it Lab 11 quota template. Now right here the space limit's gonna be 1 KB. I'm going to hit the OK button after that. Okay, now it shows that it's right there. Okay, now I want to click the quotas button over here. And I want to right click the quotas. I want to click the create quota. Now the quota path, it's going to be the lab 11 that we had chosen, that we had used before. And OK. Now right here at the properties from this quota tab, we are going to go down right here to where it says the lab 11 quota template, and we are going to click the create button. So now it shows that it has been created there. Now I'm going to go to my Windows Explorer again. I'm going to open up my Lab 11 folder again. I want to try to attempt to create a new file. It will let me. Okay, now there it shows that it will not let me. So the thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to that quota, this quota right here that I had created. I want to get rid of it. So I'm going to go right here to delete the quota and hit yes. And now I'm going to go back to that folder and I'm going to try to see if it will let me create another document. Okay, so there it shows that I can create another document, and that is how you work with the disk quotas.